It's Tuesday, so you know what day it is. It's Q&A day. Remember, guys, if you want your questions answered for the Q&A, description box down below with all the details on how you can do so. Sorry about the noise. My freaking gardener has to do the lawnmower right now, but this is the only time I can film the Q&A, so let's get started with this one. Tom Van Mucher asks, why don't you talk about NASCAR in videos? Mainly because NASCAR is not on high demand on my channel, so I still like NASCAR. I just don't talk about it as much. And question number 2, who does the media push for NASCAR? Dale Earnhardt Jr. That is the #1 motherfucker they push the most out of anyone. Used to be Jeff Gordon, but now it's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Paul Markalonis asks, what is the biggest botch in wrestling history? Either the Shockmaster's debut or the original Sin Cara's run in the whole time he was in the WWE. Johnny Russo asks, do you think now that the WWE is doing a little more with Ziggler that the fanboys will finally shut up about pushing him? No, because wrestling fans don't understand the term push. They think push means like give this guy a world title. The term push in wrestling is just the most misused term in all of professional wrestling. They always feel like if you say the word push, that guy needs to become world champion. So until Ziggler wins the world title, people are still going to complain about that motherfucker never winning it. James Isabel asks, do you think Johnny Manziel is getting overhyped? Yes, he is, man. Dude, during that preseason game against the Lions, they were overhyping the shit out of Johnny Manziel. It was ridiculous how much they were talking about him. And some of the plays that he did, they weren't even that impressive, but they were making them seem like they were such impressive plays. It was so dumb. And fuck, marry, kill. Lita, Trish Stratus, and Stephanie McMahon. Fuck Trish because who won it? Marry Stephanie because I'll become a McMahon and own the company one day, and kill Lita because her vagina's been in too many superstars' dicks, and I do not want to deal with that and get a disease. So that would be my fuck, marry, kill answer. Lee Kelly asked, what PPP ending of all time had you the most annoyed? Austin turning heel at WrestleMania 17. Still hard for me to watch that full match, man. Once I see Vince McMahon come out, half the time I just turn off the TV because I do not want to relive that terrible experience when I was a little kid watching wrestling. Oh, just a terrible time. Final limits. Q&A. Why'd you get so many dislikes on your hashtag It Happens TNA review? Probably people thinking it was the actual footage from hashtag It Happens, and not only that, people probably just didn't agree with my opinion about the situation. That's the really only reason why I think people disliked it. So it is what it is. Likes, dislikes, doesn't matter to me. I'll still make YouTube videos. It doesn't matter how many dislikes I get on a video. How come Roman Reigns still has his Shield theme, and what do you think of Ambrose and Rollins' theme? I think they have Roman Reigns' Shield theme just because to keep him closely associated with the Shield. And what do you think of, and what do I think about Ambrose's and Rollins' theme? Really, to be honest, Ambrose's theme is okay, and Rollins' theme is just garbage, man. That shit is so generic. That is just the most generic theme in the WWE. And another reason why they also have Roman Reigns with the Shield theme is kind of he was hot when he was with the Shield, so why not keep it? You know, if he was hot with the Shield music and they use the Shield music for him mostly anyways, why not just keep it with them? So that's why Roman Reigns still has the Shield theme. Red Wolf 316 asks, hey Chase, looking back into Royal Rumble 2011, would you rather have had Santino Marella win the Royal Rumble over Alberto Del Rio? I'm not a Santino fan, but I think I would have much had a wrestler that's over get the opportunity than the wrestler that never got over when he first came in. Yeah, I think Santino winning the Rumble would have been fine. I mean, if anything, you could have just taken away from him at Elimination Chamber by having ADR beat him, or you could have had ADR win the world title and then have Santino versus ADR. You know, you could suspend your disbelief and have fun watching that match. And hell, if ADR wins, gets him over as a heel. Redwood 316 also asks, have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy movie that recently came out? If yes, what did you think of it? If no, are you planning to see it? Yes, I have seen Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a fun movie. I suggest anyone who hasn't seen it to go check it out. Batista does a good job as Drax the Destroyer. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will love Rocket the Raccoon. He was definitely a funny character for the movie. Groot will become one of your favorite heroes, even though he only has 3 lines throughout the whole damn movie. But I did like Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought that was a really good movie. Great Marvel movie. Not my favorite Marvel movie of all time, but definitely a great movie nonetheless. The Real Heel asks, hey Chase, remember that little angle TNA did when they had Samoa Joe get kidnapped by ninjas and then just dropped the angle before it even got started? What did you think of it? Because right now I'm laughing at TNA's stupidity and still wondering how Samoa Joe made it back like nothing happened. It was stupid, man. He came back with a machete and face paint chasing after Bart Gunn. Bart Scott of the New York Jets at the time. I don't even know what the hell they were thinking. You make Samoa Joe one of your best badasses, one of your toughest SOBs on the roster, get kidnapped by little ninjas. How stupid. Some of the stuff with TNA, you cannot defend that if you're a TNA fan. That's just terrible. The Real Hill also asked, in your opinion, what was the worst year for WWE and TNA you have experienced, and why? 2009 for WWE, because WWE did not know what the fuck they were doing in 2009. They would just have the same guys in the main event scene. They would hot potato the world titles like they were nothing. Like, seriously, I think the World Heavyweight Championship hot potato like 5 pay-per-views straight. You know, Edge won at Backlash, and Jeff Hardy won at Extreme Rules, and then CM Punk won it the same night. Then CM Punk won, Jeff Hardy won it back at Night of Champions, and CM Punk won it at SummerSlam, and then Undertaker won it at Hell in a Cell. The WWE title, Randy Orton and John Cena were like, here's a title reign for you, here's a title reign for me, here's a title reign for you, here's a title reign for me. It was just, oh my God, dude. 2009, worst year for me as a wrestling fan. I'm tempted to say 2003 because I didn't enjoy 2003 in WWE, but definitely 2009 was way worse. The WWE did not know what the fuck they were doing in 2009. And for TNA, 2011. Oh, God, 2011. Only one good thing happened in 2011 for TNA, and that's Destination X 2011. The rest of 2011 TNA, terrible, garbage, poo-poo. Victory Road 2011. That's all I got to say about that. Jeff Hardy coked up as hell in the main event. Get the fuck out of here. Nintendo Fanboy 1998 asked, Q&A, is Renee Young a wrestler? And if she is not, do you think she is trained to be one, my good sir? No, she is not a wrestler. She's a backstage interviewer, and I think she's training to become a commentator for the pro wrestling business, not a wrestler. So, I don't know. She doesn't look like a diva to me. She's definitely a good-looking woman, though. And if you were called to help produce a remake of GTA PS2 3D era games, and you had the choice of the one of the three, GTA 3, Vice City, or San Andreas, which would you choose, and what new features would you add to the one you choose? I would choose Vice City because we don't have a remake for that one yet. And what I would do differently with that one is I would have some of the GTA San Andreas mini games that you had, or the little added features in San Andreas, such as, you know, pretty much going to Cluckin' Bell or whatever restaurant was in GTA that I can't remember off the top of my head, you know, to go get food to replenish your health and, you know, have that hunger system, have dates with girlfriends, have it where you can work out at the gym. That's what I would add to the Vice City remake. I definitely feel like it would have a more authentic feel to it. You know, I was hoping they would have that in GTA 5, but, you know, GTA 5 is still a great game at the end of the day. Josh Chambers asked, what do you think your life would be like if you were a teenager during the 90s and experiencing life like it was back then? That includes gaming, sports, wrestling, music, movies, TV shows, and your social life. I think my life would pretty much be the same except for sports. I think with sports, I would definitely have different teams to root for, because most of the sports teams I root for is because I was a little kid getting into sports, and those athletes that I looked up to, those are the athletes that became part of my favorite teams. So I definitely would have different sports teams, but I'd still be a major wrestling fan, probably more of a WCW fan. I would still be I would still love video games for what they are. I would love music for what it is. I would love movies and TV shows for what they are. In fact, I would enjoy TV shows more in 1990s than in 2000s, that's for sure. Josh Chambers also asked, do you think Triple H would gain more respect from the IWC if he didn't bury that many guys on the roster? Oh yeah, most definitely. If Triple H never had that 2002 through 2003 reign of terror, I think a lot of people would love the game a little bit more. Mr. Juicy asked, what did you think of the Backstreet Boys? I like the Backstreet Boys. They're a nice group. They're not my favorite group of all time, NSYNC for the win, but I do enjoy myself some Backstreet Boys. Mr. Juicy also asked, who is your least favorite YouTuber in the YWC? I don't really have a least favorite YouTuber in the YWC. If I were to just choose one by default, just because I don't really watch his reviews all that much, is Bruce Blitz. I don't watch like hour Raw reviews or 2-hour Raw reviews, but I do like his, you know, the way he promotes his website and the way he promotes his channel. He does a very good job on that. Doesn't necessarily mean I hate the guy. I find him fine. I just don't watch his videos that much because I just don't have time to sit down and watch, you know, 3-hour Raw reviews. That's just me personally, but he does good work on there. That would just be my least favorite because I barely watch his content, but mostly the least favorite YouTubers for me in the YWC are the guys that really are just not, like, consistent. Like, you will see one Raw review from them, and then they won't do one 3 weeks from now, and then they'll just do a random Raw review. To me, it's like those guys that start up a YouTube channel and they don't try. Those are my least favorite YWCers for sure when it comes down to it at the end of the day. Jake Loomis asked, what do you think of Samoa Joe back when he was the undefeated Samoan submission machine from the year 2000 through 2006? I really like that thing that they did with Samoa Joe. I really thought they were getting something going with Samoa Joe, making really, really big money with the Joe character at the time. I really thought this was the guy that was going to set TNA to that new level of heights that every week you're going to have it where this guy's going to be undefeated. I would have had him say undefeated until 2007, and I would have him ended the streak at 2007 Bound for Glory. That's when I would have ended the undefeated Samoan submission machine. Have him undefeated for 2 years. Make it that like that's a big special attraction. Why people should watch Impact to see who could stop this monster in Samoa Joe. You also added the thoughts, Jake Loomis. I thought TNA did a good job of building Samoa Joe to be a strong heel, viable contender for a world title in the future, and it makes me wish that TNA and WWE would book more of that today, and I completely agree with you, sir. Greg Toomer asks, hey, Chase, what are some things you liked about the 90s over today? Video games in the 90s, for sure. So many great video games in the 90s, man, and you can't deny it. So many fucking great games. I would say music in the 90s I also prefer today. TV shows, wrestling, sports music, you know, like the NBC theme before the NBA games. That's something I definitely prefer today to the modern era crap. So those are some things from the 90s I prefer today. And you also asked, in your opinion, which wrestler was worse, David Flair or Garrett Bischoff? Oh, easy, Garrett Bischoff. He belonged nowhere in the ring. That dude was garbage, man. Garrett Bischoff belonged nowhere in a professional wrestling ring. If you needed a bum that didn't know how to wrestle, call my ass, TNA. I could have played Garrett Bischoff easily. Mark Gochi asks, since WWE was dumb enough to bring the Muppets on Raw, do you think they'd be stupid enough to bring in Barney the Dinosaur as a guest host? And if that happens, what would your reaction be? For me, I wouldn't be surprised. I would kind of just laugh, and I really would just laugh about that situation. Barney the fucking dinosaur, his purple ass coming out there saying, I love you, you love me. And you know what would be even funnier? I bet you WWE would be doing something stupid. Like, they would have one of their jobber ass heels get belly-to-belly suplexed by Barney. They would pair up Barney with Bailey, and Bailey would hug people, and Barney would hug people and hit the belly-to-belly suplex. So, really, to be honest here, that's what they would do with Barney the Dinosaur. God, that would just be terrible. But I do see WWE one day maybe bringing in Barney the Dinosaur, because maybe Barney the Dinosaur will be making a big movie, and they'll be like, oh, this will get good with the kids. Fucking Vince. The Gochi Man asks, what would wrestling be like if Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit never died? You definitely would have them around to help out some of the younger talent, that's for sure. I remember answering a question similar to this, and I think I said Eddie Guerrero would definitely be, you know, someone that not really is close to the WWE, doesn't really wrestle that much for WWE, does more stuff in Mexico, but will come back every once in a while for one more match. And Benoit, I said he would be a road agent for sure for the WWE. And then someone in the comment section said if Benoit was still alive today, he would be in prison, which was pretty funny. The Gochi Man also asked, what were some of the bad things that happened in wrestling that you wish never happened? The number one thing would have to be Owen Hart's tragedy at Over the Edge 1999. Just such a sad experience, and it's hard to really be a wrestling fan, you know, and sometimes defend wrestling when people always bring that up, the Over the Edge incident. I wish WWE would have canceled the pay-per-view. It's such a shame what happened to Owen Hart, and that is one thing that I think that I wish never happened in wrestling, man. Seeing that, it's like, could you just imagine if we were there live in Kansas City seeing that, man? Like, I don't know how you could sit through the whole rest of the show. That just seems impossible to me. Mr. TNA 2005 asks, what is your opinion on Coach Mike McCoy? For me, he has the Coach of the Year and see him staying long-term to the Chargers team. I like Coach Mike McCoy. I'm not a big fan of his short little passing offense. I think it's okay. But definitely with the right pieces around him, he can do some magic with the Chargers, and I think he's doing good. I don't know if he's going to be the whole long-term option for the Chargers. You know, Chargers, they like to change their coaches around a little bit too much, in my opinion. But really, to be honest here, I really do think that he can stay for a while for the Chargers, maybe at least 5 years with San Diego, so add 5 more years. So I see him a good 6-year run as a San Diego Charger head coach, especially if Philip Rivers does decide to stay with the Chargers. I think that would help out well. Question number 2, if some people would come to you and ask about TNA, what would you say to them? I would say go watch Unbreakable 2005, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels. That's pretty much what I say about TNA. I also say that there's some really interesting wrestlers that you may like on there, different than the WWE guys, like Bobby Roode and Kenny Keene and Eric Young. You know, I really think TNA does have their assortment of really good wrestlers. I always say this with TNA, it's never about the talent that was the problem with TNA. The problem with TNA is the execution that they have with their product. Reed 19 asks, it is surprising that Kane has the most career wins in WWE history as well as the most Raw matches in history. No, it's not surprising because Kane has been constant on WWE TV since 1997. I mean, if you think about it, Kane, if you look at it, he never really suffered like major injuries that have suffered him to miss multiple times on Raw, like multiple months of Monday Night Raw or just WWE in general. I mean, in his later portion of his career, Kane has just, really missed a lot of time due to injuries. But, earlier in his career, this guy was just one of those guys that never really missed time. And if he did miss time, it was only for like a month. So really, to be honest, it does not surprise me that Kane has the most matches in Raw history and the most career wins. And what are your favorite finisher and submission finisher names? Spiral Tap by AJ Styles. I thought that was always a cool name. Diamond Dust. I always like the name of the Diamond Dust finisher that they did. What else? I like the C4, the flipping rock bottom name. I think that's actually an interesting name. It works like a C4 if you think about it. Sharpshooter. I mean, get it? Bret the Hitman Hart, the Sharpshooter. I got you as fuck. But submissions don't really have good names. They really don't. I like Kenta's name for his finisher, Game Over. I think that's a good finisher name. So, yeah, those would be the names that I can think of off the top of my head. Final Limits asks, or not Final Limits, bubblegum flavored steroids. My apologies there. Why was Kane used his finisher most of the time, the choke slam instead of the tombstone pile driver, like when he debuted, especially since the tombstone does more damage? Mainly to separate him from Undertaker, I guess you could say, because really, if you look at it, the choke slam from Hell, that really fits more of Kane than it does Undertaker. And like I said, they just probably wanted to separate Kane from using the tombstone because Undertaker was using the tombstone most of the time. So that's what I would guess. And do you think Kane should retire since he has nothing left to do in wrestling? Yes, Kane should retire. I mean, seriously. Like, why is this guy still wrestling? Kane, just give it up. Go live your life as a politician, buddy. Sharora Horror asks, have you ever downloaded a game on 360 or PS3, a demo, I mean, and did it take forever to download? Yes, man. Like, I have actually downloaded a game on 360, Left 4 Dead. I downloaded it because Kuda Trumbo wanted me to, and I did so. But, yes, it takes forever to download, even the demo. Like, a bunch of Madden demos, WWE demos I've downloaded in the past. And would you like to see Hogan versus Cena at WrestleMania 31? No, not really. Even though that match does sound really appealing, I just think that right now, where Hogan's at in his career, I don't think he can really put on a good match. I mean, the crowd will definitely be into it just because it's Hogan. And Hogan just has to move his fucking arms and the crowd will go fucking bananas. But I don't know if I would really be into that match, in all honesty. I wouldn't want to see it nowadays. Lino Gino asks, what did you think of Vito wearing a dress back in 2006 on the SmackDown brand? Stupid. Why would you make someone that looks like a tough badass like Vito wear a damn dress? That makes no damn sense to me, man. It just made him look stupid and dumb, and his theme song was just so fucking weird, man. And what did you think of Benoit winning the Rumble in 2004? Great moment for Chris Benoit's career. Sadly, we will never remember it. It's just the truth, man. We will never remember that great moment when he had the Big Show fucking teetering on the top rope and he suplexed him out of the ring, man. That was a great fucking moment. And well deserving for Chris Benoit. He definitely deserved it at the time. Lono Low asked, what if at SummerSlam, Scott Steiner returns, beats up Rollins after his match with Ambrose, and steals the briefcase and cashes in on Cena after he beats Lesnar, and Steiner is your new WWE champion? Give me the fucking mic. That would be the most awesome moment. I don't give a fuck if people bitch about it. I'll be coming on YouTube saying this is the greatest professional wrestling event of all time. Scott Steiner finally getting his due and becoming a champion, world champion in WWE. Hell yeah. And you think Stephanie McMahon is going to take huge bumps for Brie in their match? Yeah, I think she's going to take her fair share of bumps. I don't know what you classify as huge. I don't see Stephanie going over the top rope via like a flapjack or something, but I can see her taking some bumps. I don't see a superplex either, but yeah, I can see her taking her fair share of bumps. Little Fish asks, how would you react to Brock Lesnar versus Big E Langston feud? I don't think I would be that interested in it, man. Even though I do love my Big E, I don't think I would be interested in him taking on Brock Lesnar, in all honesty. So I don't know. I don't think I'd be really big into that feud. And Bobby Lashley versus Big E Langston. Would you like to see that fantasy match since they are both black and muscular and similar style? Bobby Lashley's style is way different than Big E's, man. Literally, watch a Lashley match, dude. This guy is... Big E wishes he had that athleticism that fucking Bobby Lashley has, dog. I would be interested in that one more than you know, Big E versus Lesnar for sure. I think that matchup would have some potential. I don't think the matches would be anything to blow you away, and neither would the mic work. I think the mic work would be actually pretty damn bad. But it definitely would have interest to see these two powerhouses go at it. So, yeah, I would have some interest in it. Not a lot, though. Brony Loney asks, what was Dean Malenko World Heavyweight title material? Nah. I like Dean Malenko. He's a good technical wrestler, but never someone that I can imagine being a world champion for the company. And do you like Batista better as a face or heel? Oh, heel. Batista as a face is boring as fuck, dude. Seriously, man. His best line as a babyface is basketballs don't hold grudges. Batista as a heel, man. Deal with it. Dollar signs, kissing babies and hugging fat girls. Fucking Batista as a heel all day. Fuck Batista as a babyface. He's so damn boring. Dave Lester asks, what do you think of Big E's mic skills? Do a Big E impression. Well, I think Big E's mic skills are very bland and very boring. What he's doing now, acting like he's some type of reverend. You know what? He should go back to being fascinated how he has 5 fingers and how he should be the master of the 5 count once again. Because 3 ain't enough, man. I need 5. So, yeah, that's my Big E impression. I know it's really bad, but it's the best I can come up with off the top of my head. And who are your favorite Under the Dome female characters and why? You know, Under the Dome, every time they have a good female character, they kill them off. I liked Brenda the most because Brenda, she was trying to, like, stop Big Jim because fuck Big Jim, he's an asshole. And then Big Jim killed her. Fucking Under the Dome. They just kill off all... Like, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, dude, Dave, you watch Under the Dome, man. You know it. Every time they have that female character developing, don't get attached to that female character because they're just going to kill her off at the end of the day. But I thought Brenda was the most well-developed character. You know, she had a good story going, you know, trying to stop Big Jim, and Big Jim just blew her the fuck off. God damn, Under the Dome. Come on, stop killing all your female characters. Jack Trice asks, how did you first react when Brodus Clay in 2012 made his debut as the Funkasaurus? In my Raw review, I was laughing and I defended it. And when I saw it live, I was laughing my ass off. So I thought it was fucking hilarious. And thoughts on the split of Crime Time 4 years ago? Fucking terrible idea by the WWE. I don't know who the fuck thought it would be a good idea splitting Crime Time. God, fuck the WWE sometimes, man. Why? Why? Why would you split up Crime Time? They didn't even win the tag team titles yet. Like, fuck off. Reginald D. Huff asks, who has a bigger ego and is a bigger douche bag in real life, Randy Orton or Kanye West? Okay, Orton may be a douche and have a big ego, but come on, Kanye has the biggest ego and is a bigger douche than all time. I mean, remember when he did that shit to Taylor Swift? Was like, hey, Taylor, I appreciate you all and all that other stuff, but Beyonce had the best music album of all time. He defended that shit by saying, you know, I did that because my mama died and I wasn't stable enough. Kanye definitely has a bigger ego than fucking Randy Orton. There's no question about it. He's a bigger douche than Randy Orton. Funny, I like both of those guys too. I love Kanye's music. College Dropout, just saying. That's a good fucking album. But, you know, he's a bigger douche and a bigger egomaniac for sure. Compared to Randy Orton. Randy Orton wishes he had Kanye West's ego. Because if he had Kanye West's ego and douchebaggery, he would be a main eventer in the WWE and a bigger star than John Cena. And thoughts on Deuce and Domino. It definitely wasn't a gimmick that worked with the time. It wasn't. Because I get where WWE is like, oh, let's go flashback with the 50s, 60s, 70s greaser gimmick. And it's just like, dude, look, man, we're in the year 2007, man. It doesn't work like that anymore. You can't be putting out this cartoony-ass shit and make us think like, oh, they're cool. Nah, man. I don't even think Deuce and Domino like being in Deuce and Domino. I think Sim Snuka probably thinks him getting crossbodied by The Undertaker is his highlight of his career. Not fucking Deuce and Domino, that's for sure. I Love Watermelon 525 asks, have you ever played Spyro the Dragon games? Yes, man, dude. I have Spyro the Dragon, Spyro the Year of the Dragon, and Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage on my PS3, dude. So yeah, I love Spiral games. They're fucking awesome. I play them every time when I'm getting a fix for like fun video games. I just play Spiral the Dragon. Spiral the Dragon is definitely a fun game to play. And thoughts on white boys and white girls who act black? Act your own race. You don't need to act black. Seriously, so stupid sometimes. Justin Side asks, what did you think of the zombie coming out at the debut of ECW on Sci-Fi and Sandman caning the shit out of him? When I saw the zombie came out, I just said, wow, this is what ECW is going to be like? Oh, this ain't going to be a good time whatsoever for the ECW brand on Sci-Fi. Oh, God, just stupid. And what did you think of when Kelly used to do the extreme expose shit and Mike Knox used to interrupt her? I thought that was a good storyline, in all honesty, because that's how a boyfriend should act. Your girlfriend should not be going on TV trying to get fucking naked, man. That's not right. Mike Knox was just doing the best thing for him. He was trying to make sure his girl wasn't getting naked on TV. So you know what? I respect Mike Knox for that shit. I actually like that storyline. I didn't think it was that bad. They just didn't execute it well enough, but it definitely had a good concept. Randy Bussetti asked, what did you think of the movie The Wrestler starring Mickey Rourke? I liked it when I first watched it, but then afterwards, watching it like multiple times, I just didn't really like it as much. I don't know. I just feel that it doesn't really paint wrestling as a good scope of mind. You know, it just really paints a bad picture on professional wrestling. Just my opinion. But it's cool that R-Truth got a cameo in it, so yeah, I can't complain that much. And which episode did you watch the episode of Raw that Bret Hart came back in, or when TNA and Hogan made the Impact debut? Which was better in your opinion? Oh, Bret Hart coming back to Raw, man. That was a better episode than fucking January 4th, 2010. All January 4th, 2010 had better than Raw that night was Styles versus Angle. But other than that, I felt Raw was a much better episode. I mean, you got Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels making up in the middle of the ring, man. That's just something you don't forget, man. Like, you would never think Shawn and Bret would be friends after that whole situation, and there they were fucking hugging in the ring. Oh, TNA fucking January 4th was stupid. Oh, let's bring back the NWO because they're fucking big. Fuck. Fuck TNA January 4th. I don't like that episode whatsoever, man. What did you think of Lacey Von Erich? She wasn't one of my favorites. That's for sure, man. I don't know. I didn't really have that much of an opinion on Lacey Von Erich. And thoughts on the Miz and Morrison tag team? I loved it, dude. That was perfect. The dirt sheet. Oh, one of the best WWE.com segments of all time. I got hyped up for the dirt sheet, man. Great fucking stuff. If you guys want some entertainment, go watch the dirt sheet. I'm pretty sure all the episodes are on YouTube. That was some good stuff. I like the one where they're mocking CM Punk. John Morrison, that one was funny. Or the Snozzler for Triple H. I'm going to sneeze all over you. Oh, God. Miz and Morrison as a tag team was very good. And, you know, you could argue it helped the Miz become the star he became. So, yeah, I like that tag team. Jack the Talking Dildo asked, what did you think of when Sheamus won the title from Cena at 2009, and why did he win? As for why did he win, I don't know why did he win. But I was shocked. I thought it was a botch. I thought they botched. I was like, oh my God, they botched this so fucking bad. Holy crap. I really thought that was the biggest botch of all time until I realized that they were planning on giving the title to Sheamus. But I don't know why he won. They just planned it, I guess. But Jesus, didn't that look botched? I thought it was just the biggest botch of all time. I was just like, there's no way this guy won. I thought they were just feeding this dude to Cena to beat him. You know, I just thought this was Umaga 2.0, but pale. But no, man, he won, and I was shocked as hell. God damn. I always remember Cena just falling through the table, and, oh, God, it was just shocking to me. And what did you think of the 2009 Slammy episode of Raw where Hornswoggle had the fucking Little People's Court suing DX? When they went... Let me tell you guys something. If you guys ever meet me in real life and you want my reaction to the DX and Hornswoggle Little People's Court, that's one of my favorite segments. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but it is. They're in little fucking chairs. And then Shawn and Triple H get hit by a little baton. I fucking love that segment, dude. I die every time I watch that segment. Whenever I'm feeling sad, I watch that segment just because it makes my tears of sadness just laughter. Oh god, man. I'm being dead serious. I thought that segment was hilarious. I can understand where some people thought, oh, this shit is crappy. This shit's too PG. I get it. I totally understand. People forget that 1995 ever existed and they don't understand what PG wrestling was back in the day. I get it. But that was funny, dude. And then they tried to chase them afterwards. Oh, God. Fuck yeah, I love the Little People's Court. That shit was hilarious. Esquerdo Compton asks, if Kelly Kelly came back, what would you see her doing the same with Maurice? She definitely would win like the Divas title right away. Like I could just totally see it. Like Paige comes in the middle of the ring, she cuts a promo, and then Kelly Kelly wins the belt. Maurice, I don't know, probably do stuff with Miz. I don't know what you would do with Maurice at this time because if Kelly Kelly's going to win the belt right away, you wouldn't want to feud with Maurice. You would probably just use Maurice more as heel heat for the Miz. Like, god damn, how did that goofball marry this chick? So yeah, you know what? That's what they would do with Maurice. I'm still laughing about the Little People's Court. How would you react if Triple H and Daniel Bryan followed you on Twitter? Daniel Bryan, whatever. I'm not the biggest Daniel Bryan fan in the world, dude. So. Sorry. But Triple H, I would be marking the fuck out. That's one of my favorites since I was a little kid. So I'd be like, the game is following me. I'd mark the fuck out. Yeah, anyone who knows my channel knows I love me some Triple H. Ugh. So really, to be honest here, yeah, you know what? I would mark the fuck out if Triple H followed me on Twitter. And John Cut asks, is going to finish off this Q&A. What do you think Hulk Hogan and Scott Hall would look like with short hair since they both had long hair before the entire YWC/IWC half the WWE roster were born? How would Hogan look completely bald without the mustache? Scott Hall would definitely not have gotten over looking like a bald son of a bitch like me. I mean, really, to be honest, with his facial structure, him being bald, oh man, he would just look like a goofball. That he would not be as successful. And Hogan, oh, he could have pulled it off. I don't know if he would have become the biggest star, but I definitely think with the physique in his face, he could have pulled off no mustache with the bald hair for sure. And what would RVD would look like without his famous ponytail? Probably just the same with no ponytail, but like just cancel that out and you would just have slick back hair. He still would have worked. I still even think no matter what hairstyle RVD has, I think he still would have worked out fine with the companies he was in. I mean, he had a good moveset for his time. So, yeah, he still would have worked out. Yeah, that's for sure. But thank you guys so much for sending the questions, especially those who asked about Little People's Court. I like you, man. Jack Talking Dildo. Jack Talking Dildo talked about Little People's Court. Remember, guys, for all you guys, I just want to say this before I close the Q&A. For all you guys that think, you know, the PG stuff we get now is bad, I suggest to you to watch 1995. Because please tell me how WCW and WWE in 1995 doing their PG crap is better than the PG crap we get now. The PG crap that we get now at least is edgy sometimes and entertaining, while in 1995 it was complete other garbage. I just want to throw that out there, you know, before anyone shits on me. Well, you know, you can shit on me for liking Little People's Court. I understand most people didn't like that segment. I thought it was funny. But you know, I just want to throw that out there. I think some wrestling fans just need to watch 1995 more, just to understand that we should be lucky that we're getting this PG crap instead of 1995 PG crap. But anyways, thank you guys for sending in the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this edition for the Q&A. Remember, Thursday, the new Q&A, and tune in later tonight to watch in the SummerSlam 2014 preview and predictions. Enjoy your guys' day. I'll see you all next time. Peace.